Yes, simulations are a lot of work. There's no dressing it up, there's no point beating around the bush. And even I, as somebody who is very keen on using simulations, recognise that sometimes it's a whole pile of work. Why is it a pile of work? Firstly, it's a pile of work because you have to create a simulation. And that means identifying what it is you're trying to do. And if you look at the other videos on this resource, then you will see the steps for doing that. So it forces you to do a lot of thinking, because you're not simply saying, here is my way of doing it. So if you think about how you produce lecture notes, you have a narrative that you're trying to communicate in an hour or in 2 hours. In a simulation, what you're trying to do is to address an issue, a particular problem that you have. And that can be sometimes quite tricky to do. What is it specifically that I'm trying to access here? So it requires time and reflection. Then we have to build up the elements of the simulation. We then need to prepare paperwork or resources. We might need to move around rooms or get special rooms timetabled. We have to think about what student preparation is necessary. So often, for any substantial kind of simulation, we're going to have to get students to do some kind of preparation beforehand, before they turn up in the room. During the simulation, you will need to watch what's going on. And I'll talk about that in another video. Because you have to be able to provide feedback at the end. So you've got not simply to take notes, but you've also got to engage with the students afterwards in tying that back into the rest of their learning. So yes, there is a lot of work. Compared to a lecture, it's a noticeable increase. There are ways around that. On the one hand, and I think this is one of my key points, is that simulations are very flexible. It's not that you have to do everything through a simulation. Simulation could be something really very small, very discrete, relatively low cost, relatively little hassle in terms of preparation. And even something small like that can help you get into the logic of it. So you can start building up from small games into more complicated games. That simulations are very good and adaptable because you can always add in new elements in a way that is almost unlimited. You can take from a very basic gameplay through to something very extended, very multi-dimensional. So it's not that all the work has to be done at once. Secondly, I think the benefits of simulations far outweigh the costs. That in terms of student engagement, student responsiveness, student participation, student learning, if we want to put it in more instrumental terms, their ability to understand the material that you're trying to communicate through your course or your module is much, much improved through using a simulation. And for all those reasons, whilst there is a cost, I think it comes with a clear benefit which more than offsets it.